I'm definitely late to this, but let's rank the characters from American Housewife. Okay, so I have a tier list today, and the categories are why we watch the show, great, good, are they even in the show, those characters you kind of forget about, and then the final category, the hatred for this character is so much. So let's get straight into this with the main character, Katie Otto. I've got to say, she is definitely one of the reasons why we watch this show.
It's nice to know I still got it.
She is amazing. She is the reason so many shenanigans go on in the show. I absolutely love her in the show, and she is definitely the reason why you binge the whole series. As soon as I started, I couldn't stop watching. It's so good, and she is the main reason because of the stuff she gets up to, because of the lines she comes out with. I think she's hilarious as well. So for me, definitely why we watch the show. Then we come to Franklin, and Franklin is Anna Kat's weird friend at the start who's in the group that needs more social skills. But the more we get to know Franklin, the cooler this guy becomes. I mean, who knew he could play the piano? He just can, and he can sing as well.
Far from the shallow now.
Then he gets into a fight with an older lad and gets out of the fight by just doing a warm-up that scares the living crap out of the other guy. Amazing. And then he's amazing at shadow puppet.
Aw, now was that so hard?
Yes! How are you doing that?
Is there anything this bloke cannot do? And again, he has some hilarious lines, and he has the best podcast you've ever heard of, Keeping It Frank with Franklin. Definitely going to tune into that. For me, he is another reason why we watch the show. He is fantastic. Then we come to the Principal Ablin. You know, he's kind of forgettable at the start, but then he decides he's going to run against Greg in the election. For me, just a stirrer, man, and running against Greg for just pure hatred reasons. And he's not. You know what? I'm putting him in the hatred for this character so much. I want to say I forget him, but I didn't because of what he's done to Greg. No, cannot do that. Then we come to Tara. Katie, tell them who Tara is.
Stupid Tara.
For me, Tara is... I don't really have a hatred for the character. I kind of get it confused sometimes. I'm gonna put her as... I'll put her as good. I'll put her as good. Then we come to Principal Albin's eventual wife, Maria, who at the start is obviously working for Chloe Brown Mueller in the store, and her character development is great. She goes from this timid mouse to suddenly marrying Principal Albin. I'd say her character development, if it was just on development, it was amazing. But for me, overall, because she marries Principal Albin, that's going to drop her down. I'm going to say is a good character as well. Then we come to Katie's mum, Katherine, who is fantastic. She is just so old school, so completely opposite to this lifestyle. Just fantastic, lovely stirrer. I'm going to put her in great.
I deserve a medal.
Then we come to Chloe Brown Mueller. I think that is Chloe Brown Mueller. That looks like Chloe Brown Mueller. Just checking the other ones. Yeah, that's Chloe Brown Mueller. The stirrer, the nemesis of Katie. I think she has some good episodes. And then she has that one where she's dating Angela as well, which is, you know, bizarre. That came out of the blue. But for me, I think she's a great character. Then we come to Viv. I love Viv. I absolutely love Viv. I think she's class. She really riles up Katie, which is amazing. She has a really good storyline as well, and eventually gets her own Greg. For me, I'm going to say she is another character as to why we watch this show. Then we come to... Let me check who this character is. She is... Suzanne. Honestly, forgot they were even in the show. I was doing getting the characters together, and I even since getting all the characters and putting this tier list together, I've forgotten who she is. So for me, are they even in the show? Honestly, no idea. Then we come to the YouTube star Lonnie, who at the start, let's be honest, is pretty much just a dick. He is a dick when he comes in, but the character development we have and the love for Greg he has and the way he helps out, I'm going to say it turns him into a great character. I love the character development, and by the end, Lonnie is a good character.
I'm so proud of you, man!
Then we come to Spencer, Oliver's obviously mentor, his hero, and even though he's made out to be this bad man, he's a great character and he does inspire Oliver, so definitely for me goes great. Then we come to the main man himself, Greg Otto. another reason why we watch the show. He is fantastic. Everyone would love Greg as their dad in real life, wouldn't you? You'd just love him. He's great. I love how he has the hobbies, how he's a history. He doesn't care that he may be uncool because of his hobbies. He just does it. And for that reason, I respect him so much. And he's great getting people out of situations. So for me, he is another reason as to why we watch the show. Then we come to, I'm going to have to check who this character is again. I mean, honestly, there's so many episodes, so many characters, you get lost sometimes on which character's which. Sage, who is another character who, again, I've completely forgotten, so I'm gonna say, are they even in the show? Then we come to Gina, who obviously is Oliver's ex-girlfriend by the time, but she's in the ballet group, and in the start she's really cool, and I really like her, but then she breaks Oliver's heart, and for doing that, I have a hatred for her. I do have a hatred for her. How can you break Oliver's heart? That hurts. Then we get Oliver's next girlfriend, Bria. Honestly, kind of forgot she was in the show, so I'm going to put are they even in the show. Then we come to Tammy, who was Angela's replacement. Let's put it that way. Season 5, they were trying to almost reboot the show. Katie's friends, Angela and Doris, obviously leave for unknown reasons, probably contractual issues with actors in reality, and so they replace her, and this is Katie's old friend Tammy, who's just moved in, who's this mum. Honestly, kind of forgot she was in the show. She has some, I'm going to put are they even in the show. I just don't think she was memorable enough for me to say any better than that. Then we come to Nancy, who is just one of those mums who's so involved in the business, has to everything perfect, doesn't really care. She throws a kid a party, it's the party's for herself. Just an evil person really in reality, so I'm going to put the hatred for this character is too much as well. Then we come to the teacher of like the social skills class, the one who helps Anna Kat. She does a lot of good for Anna Kat, but honestly she's in so little of the episodes, I'm going to put are they even in the show. Then we come to Ao, who is Taylor's first boyfriend. He's a great character. He's obviously the son of, I think it's Chloe Brown Mueller, which really annoys Chloe Brown Mueller. I think he was a good character overall, I would say so. Then we come to Trevor, who is like this genius kid who Oliver obviously latches onto, and they build an app together. He is the complete opposite to like Cooper. He is just so blunt, and I love him for that. I think he's a good character for that. He brings a nice balance, and he creates some tension between Cooper and Oliver that just wouldn't have existed without him. Then we come to Walker Montgomery, who I've got to say, of this new like reboot we had sort of thing in season 5, he was the best character that added. I thought some of his lines were so quirky. The fact he's this super rich kid who's suddenly got cut off and has been a waiter but still acts like this super entitled rich kid. Some of the lines he comes out with, I'm going to say he's a great character. For me, he made season 5 like bearable. I think it kind of fell off a cliff season 5, obviously with the whole COVID thing. Losing the actress for Anna Kat obviously wasn't going to help. Losing then like Angela and Doris as well. So I think he was the best version on season 5. Then we have Doris's replacement next, JD. I think he did a more memorable job than Tammy, but again, he was kind of trying to fill these boots that were just too big. So I'm just going to put him as good. Then we come to Taylor, the oldest kid, but again, she's going to be in Why We Watch This Show. She's fantastic. She's great. She's obviously dumb throughout her childhood, and then she becomes smarter as she goes to college, and I love her character development. I love that she's so in love with Trip as well, and she has those testing moments. I think she's a great addition to the show, and definitely why we watch the show. And it's interesting that they switched the actress to Meg Donnelly after the first episode. I wonder why that was, but I think it was probably the right move, as the actress Meg Donnelly did a fantastic job throughout the rest of the episodes. Then we come to Grant, who I've got to say, he's a great character. Yeah, he's starts out as Greg's student, then becomes Greg's assistant. I just love the amount he gives, the amount of enjoyment he brings to this history course. For me, great character. Other than his ending where he like double crosses Greg, not so happy about that, but other than that, he was a great character. Then we come to Taylor's Professor Andre, who kind of brings makes a love triangle for Taylor and Trip, and I think it's something that they needed. Otherwise it would have just been too perfect, and that tension it brings and to test their relationships, I thought he was good for that reason. And as a character, he's actually pretty funny and has some good lines and makes you think. So for me, I'm going to put him as good. Then we come to the Homewrecker, Pierce. Yeah, hatred for this character so much. He comes in and just tries to weasel his way in between Trip and Taylor in the worst way possible by doing it with a school show. The hatred is too much that I don't want to talk about it. Then we come to Oliver, who again is why we watch the show. He's completely opposite to the rest of his family, but that works so well because he brings like a tension that you just don't get otherwise, and he really is the Westport view. He is the guy who fits in the best with the outer society being his family, fits in the worst, and I like his character development as well, so for me he's definitely a reason as to why we watch the show. Then we come to Anna Kat, and this is the picture with the main actress who goes through the first 4 seasons. Obviously we had a different actress in the 5th season.
Yeah, kids change.
But I don't think it made too much of a difference once you got on board with the actress. As in total, Anna Kat had the biggest story development. Obviously, she starts off with this major OCD, and by the end of it, she's just this popular, normal kid. She has some of the funniest lines. She has some great moments. So for me, I'm definitely going to say why we watch the show as well. Then we come to Doris, who, yeah, I just love her parenting technique. I just love everything about Doris. She's straight on the nose, and for me, is another reason why I watch the show. And I was so annoyed when they did the like reboot sort of thing in season 5 because I just wanted more Doris in the show. Then we come to Angela, the other character of the second breakfast. For me, Angela was always a bit more... Yeah, she had some good moments, but I wouldn't say any great moments. I'm just gonna say good. I think good overall. I think there could have been more moments. They could have definitely worked on more storylines, but they kind of just made her like this player with this really nonchalant parenting style, and for me, it was a bit meh. So I'm going to say good. Then we come to Cooper. He is honestly starts off as this rich entitled kid, but the more time he spends with the Ottos, the more he becomes this lovable guy, and honestly his story development is cracking. He's obviously Oliver's best friend. Some of the best moments are from Cooper. Some of the best lines where you see the real contrast between the super rich and just a normal family come from Cooper, so for that reason he is why we watch the show. And then finally we have Trip, Taylor's boyfriend. I think he has some great moments, but I'm just going to say great. So that is my character tier list for American Housewife. Do you agree with it? Do you not? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments, and if you want to try this tier list out for yourself, I will leave the link in the description. But anyway, you've been watching The Gate of Theories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow for a brand new video.
I'll be there to help you shine.